now he's letting it grow like
That-
Horrible.
Tim's like, I don't know what to do with it. Cause he's got all the curls. Then it gets all.
It's hard to. Is he in school? In?
3 days a week.
Girls are gonna be, oh,
Always have to tell him, don't say that, Greg.
Are Kim and Jason together?
one, everyone.
Yeah, they bought a house.
I haven't seen Kim.
I like working.
They,
No,
they bought a house made on 98 off of 20.
this is beyond anybody's control.
Down the time of that hunting.
That's the thing.
They had the house. And then
We're dependent.
last year.
Whatever.
Sure, it's not gonna count. They need to like their building.
I thought she wasn't on me. I was just gonna go. I figured she, after when COVID hit, I lost track
Yeah,
of
she
everybody.
loves it. She just loves being there. Got everything set up, house, Wi-Fi, on, and
Yep.
got a waxing room and makes a room, pedicure room, nails, everything.
Yeah.
My husband designed it. And then they built it, and then my son did most of it.
Yeah.
That was our COVID day.
Yeah. Well, it's much nicer to have. Than,
Especially with Hunter, because he'll be going to school next year, and he goes to Attica. So he's, she's gotta be.
I know it.
walk around,
But they get light later, right?
make a schedule around that.
Yep,
That's great.
she's really happy. Well, I don't think I'll see any more grandchildren. No, probably boys. I was kind of hoping for a little girl. Well, guess I'll have to adopt one.
We went to Florida February, tomorrow for a few days. He's asking me, like, it's like the main this 40 days. Asking me about all these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about them in forever and where they are and what's going on. I'm like,
I know.
it's so funny.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Regular session of the Board of Miami County Board of Supervisors for Tuesday, April 12, 2022. Today, our veteran leading our pledge of allegiance is Petty Officer First Class Brittany Ward. Mrs. Ward was born in Buffalo in 1993 and attended the Warsaw High School, graduating in 2011. She grew up on her family's horse farm with her parents and 5 brothers. Upon graduating, Brittany entered the United States Navy that August and attended Naval Station Great Lakes for her basic training. Upon completion of her initial training, Mrs. Ward was sent to Mazourdi, where she selected her military occupation specialty, Master at Arms, the Navy's version of the military police. Mrs. Ward trained at Lackland Training Base for 2 months, and upon successful completion of her training, was assigned to NSA Hampton Roads in Norfolk, Virginia. Brittany acted as a supervisor for the Master at Arms, who manned the gates and the patrolmen on the base. From here, she was sent to the USA 83 in Virginia Beach and then the ESG 2 in Little Creek, Virginia, before her honorable discharge in 2019. While stationed in Virginia, Mrs. Ward experienced a hurricane while on ship, and to be ready, everyone on ship locked arms and fell over like dominoes. Upon her discharge, Mrs. Ward entered the Naval Reserves, first being assigned at Buffalo CRS 8 before moving on to NOSC Rochester, where she honorably serves to this day. For her valor and courageous service to her country, Mrs. Ward has been awarded the Good Conduct Medal 2 times, the Navy and Marine Achievement Medal 3 times, the National Defense Service Medal, the Navy E-Ribbon, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Marksmanship Badge M16, Marksmanship Badge M9. In the civilian world, Mrs. Ward has worked for Pet Shop Invisible Fence in Orchard Park, where she trained dogs to become accustomed to invisible fencing, but she now works with something she has known all of her life, horses. She's the manager at her family horse farm, the Wolcott Farmers, 4 seasons of fun, and works with individuals and groups, including our Wyoming County Veteran Service Office, and providing unique horseback riding experiences. Mrs. Ward is married to her husband Kyle, and they welcomed their first child in December, a daughter named Ellery. Mrs. Ward enjoys hobbies like camping, riding her side-by-side, gardening, and being around and riding her horses. Mrs. Ward is an asset to the veteran community in all she does, helping our veterans at her family's home. Would you please rise to the
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for your service, and because of you and many men and women who have gone before you and are serving now and in the future, we can practice democracy in our country now. And it means so much with what we see worldwide. So thank you very much. And let's give you this plaque for appreciation. Thank you. Address us and the public with this.
I say thank you. This is awesome. I think it's awesome that us veterans get recognized, that we're still in everybody's thoughts. We do. Going away for a while away from family is never easy, so it's awesome to come back here and get so much support. Thank you.
I want to have a conversation with the sheriff too, after your.
And now we'll have our opening prayer with Reverend Frank Frazier.
Afternoon, it's nice to be back again. Our prayer today from Hebrews chapter 6, starting at verse 6. You join me? Heavenly Father, I pray that these bondservants of Christ, this board, this group of people, will do the will of God from their heart, knowing that whatever good anyone does, they will receive the same from the Lord. I pray that the God of peace himself will sanctify you completely, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be preserved, blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Now I would also like to ask for a moment of silence for former Supervisor Paul Agan, who's former supervisor of the town of Attica, and was for, I believe, about 10 years, ending in 2003. Madam Clerk, are there any communications?
Madam Chairwoman, for the month of April, there are no communications.
Resolution number 1 by Mr. Kale, Chairman of the Finance Committee.
Mr. Chairman, we give the clerk the resolution number 1, approved by the Finance Committee, and I move for its adoption.
I'd also turn it down. Okay. Resolution number 1 by Mr. Carroll, Chairman of the Finance Committee. Funds appropriated to various 2022 accounts. For real property tax services, $3,934.94. For probation, $2,862. For the Youth Bureau, $3,347.03. For the Department of Social Services, $5,000. Mental health, $36,010. And for emergency services, $14,095.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution number 1? No, and
Middlebury.
Aye.
Orangeville.
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Sheldon.
Aye.
Warsaw. Weathersfield. Arcade.
Aye.
Attica.
Aye.
Bennington.
Aye.
Castile.
Aye.
Covington.
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Gainesville.
Aye.
Genesee Falls.
Aye.
And Jayla.
Aye.
1,599 aye, none absent.
Resolution number 1 has been carried. Now we have the presentation of the monthly expenditures by Mr. Jacoby, Chairman of the Audit.
Madam Chairwoman, bills totaling $16,073,822.66 for the month of March have been paid as approved by the audit.
Resolution number 2 through 7 by Mrs. King, Chairman of the Human Resources Committee.
Madam Chair, will you please have the clerk read resolutions 2 through 7? They've been approved by the Human Resource Committee, and I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 2 by Mrs. King, Chairman of the Human Resource Committee. Resolution supporting civil service law changes to enhance career hiring flexibility for veterans and people with disabilities. Resolution number 3, resolution calling for an increase in the share of revenue counties retained providing state DMV services. Resolution number 4, resolution calling for the state of New York to allow for county home rule authority regarding employment residency requirements. Resolution number 5, chairman authorized to sign various contracts on behalf of Human Resource. Resolution number 6, Thomas Dutton reappointed to the Civil Service Commission. And resolution number 7, resolution number 20-153 amended.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution number 2 through 7? There are none, and please call.
Bennington.
Aye.
Castile.
Aye.
Covington.
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Gainesville.
Aye.
Genesee Falls.
Aye.
Jayla.
Aye.
Middlebury.
Aye.
Orangeville.
Aye.
Harry.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Sheldon.
Aye.
Warsaw. Weathersfield. Arcade.
Aye.
And Attica.
Aye.
1,599 aye, none absent.
Number 2 through 7 have been carried. Resolutions number 8 through 24 by Ms. Grant, Chairman of the Human Service.
Madam Chair, please have the clerk read resolutions 8 through 24. They've been approved by the Human Services Committee, and I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 8 by Ms. Grant, Chairman of the Human Services Committee. Chairman authorized to sign a grant application through the CARES Act with the New York State Housing Trust Fund Corporation on behalf of Planning and Development. Resolution number 9, authorization to sign the Global Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Area Memorandum of Understanding. Resolution number 10, month of the military child proclaimed. Resolution number 11, resolution in support of HR 6969 and requesting a companion bill in the United States Senate. Resolution number 12, resolution number 18-015 amended. Resolution number 13, chairman authorized to sign a contract with Pitney Bowes on behalf of the Office for the Aging and the Youth Bureau. Resolution number 14, resolution number 22-011 amended. Resolution number 15, resolution number 21-218 amended. Resolution number 16, Chairman, Commissioner of Social Services authorized to sign a contract with Laboratory Corporation of America Holdings on behalf of the Department of Social Services. Resolution number 17, Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Month proclaimed. Resolution number 18, resolution urging the governor and state legislature to adjust the early intervention rate structure to improve access to services for children who speak a language other than English. Resolution number 19, resolution calling on the governor to complete affordable care and enhance federal medical assistance for reconciliation that are years overdue and provide a full accounting of funds owed to counties and New York City and a schedule for release of these federal funds. Resolution number 20, resolution urging the governor and state legislature to gradually eliminate the county fiscal responsibility for preschool special education and summer school special education programs. Resolution number 21, resolution in support of efforts to expand veteran services and increase the coordination and information between the federal, state, and local veterans agencies. Resolution number 22, resolution in support of raising the child care subsidy rate and increasing the total allotment to social services districts in order to improve equitable access to child care across New York State. Resolution number 23, resolution urging the governor and New York State legislature to restore critical state funding support for child welfare services, safety net programs, and to fully fund the recent foster care rate settlement with state resources. And resolution number 24, resolution urging the governor and state legislature to focus on rent allowance and standard of need, including the restoration of 50/50 cost sharing for safety net programs and clarifying its homelessness prevention goals by making permanent housing the central focus.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolutions 8 through 24? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Lori,
Aye.
Orangeville,
Aye.
Perry,
Aye.
Pike,
Aye.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Warsaw, Weathersfield, Arcade,
Aye.
Attica,
Aye.
Bennington,
Aye.
Castile,
Aye.
Covington,
Aye.
Eagle,
Aye.
Gatesville,
Aye.
Genesee Falls,
Aye.
and Jacob.
Aye.
1,599 ayes, none absent.
Resolutions number 8 through 24 have been carried. And Ms. Grant, I believe you have 2 proclamations.
A special guest with us today for the first proclamation. Month of the Military Child proclaimed. Whereas there are over 2.1 million men and women serving across all branches of the military. And whereas currently 1.7 million children claim at least one parent presently in the armed forces. And whereas oftentimes the soldier, Marine, airman, or sailor goes away on training assignments and combat deployments for weeks to over a year at a time. And whereas it is the children who go through many of life's milestones, such as learning to walk, talk, ride a bike, or join their first sports team with their beloved parent not around. And whereas many of these children feel left out when compared to their civilian counterparts, with both parents having the standard 9 to 5 occupation. And whereas with the wars they grew up with, they spent many sleepless nights terrified that a chaplain was going to knock on their doors. A sad fact thousands of children have faced since 9/11 alone. And whereas we here in Wyoming County understand, respect, and appreciate the sacrifices they made through no choice of their own. Now therefore be it resolved, the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim April 2022 as the month of the military child in Wyoming County. And it bears the chairwoman's signature and the seal of the Board of Supervisors.
Thank everybody for supporting this resolution.
That's my daughter Alessandra. She's a military child for a little bit longer to my wife's side of the National Guard. So thank you again, and actually I'm looking forward to this day back.
I would like to ask Commissioner Barber to come up here, as well as her staff members from the Child Prevention Unit. Protection Unit, yes. Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Month proclaimed. Whereas child abuse is a complex and ongoing problem in our society, affecting great numbers of children in Wyoming County. And whereas every child is entitled to be loved, cared for, nurtured, and secured, and to be free from verbal abuse, sexual abuse, emotional and physical abuse, and neglect. And whereas Wyoming County faces a continuing need to support community-based programs to prevent child abuse and neglect. And whereas it's the responsibility of every adult who comes in contact with a child to protect that child's inalienable right to a safe, nurturing childhood. And whereas Wyoming County has dedicated individuals and organizations who work daily to counter the problem of child abuse and neglect, and to help parents obtain assistance they need. And whereas our county is stronger when all citizens become aware of child abuse and neglect prevention and have become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. And whereas Wyoming County residents celebrate children, this county's greatest resource, and the community leaders of tomorrow, now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the month of April 2022 as Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Month, and it bears the chairwoman's signature and the seal of the board. And I think we all owe a great debt of gratitude to the women here. I wish the situation was that we didn't have to employ anybody for this purpose, but it's a tough job, and we really respect the work that they do and what you put into making these schools a lot better.
Proud and thankful that you are giving me this opportunity to recognize the Child Protective staff, and I would like to introduce you to each one of them. Beth Schaefer is the Child Protective Supervisor. Chris Howe was appointed as a senior back in the fall, I think, senior caseworker, and she splits her time between adult protective and child protective. Sarah's hiding in the back, Sarah Hagman, Alyssa Cassidy, Katie Bowles, and we are missing Erin Mann and April Brown. April Brown is our newest caseworker. She couldn't be here today. And I also want to recognize Angie Malella, who is the Director of Services, and she oversees the whole unit of child protective as well as preventive and foster. So thank you for allowing us to recognize them today.
Resolutions 25 through 33 by Mr. Davis, Chairman of the Public Health Committee.
Madam Chair, please have the clerk read resolutions 25 through 33. They've been approved by the Public Health Committee, and I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 25 by Mr. Davis, Chairman of the Public Health Committee. Resolution in support of the state fiscal year 2023 executive budget proposal regarding increased public health infrastructure funding and urging the adoption of NYSERDA to CARE Act funding proposals. Resolution number 26, resolution requesting increased state and funding in state fiscal year 2023 enacted budget to support the state's behavioral health workforce. Resolution number 27, Autism Awareness Month proclaimed. Resolution number 28, resolution number 21-548 amended. Resolution number 29, resolution number 21-545 amended. Resolution number 30, chairman authorized to sign a contract with Lamar on behalf of mental health. Resolution number 31, chairman commissioner of health authorized to sign a grant application and acceptance award with New York State Department of Health on behalf of the county health department. Resolution number 32, resolution number 22-018 amended. And resolution number 33, resolution number 18-055 amended.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolutions 25 through 33? Please call the roll.
Orangeville.
Aye.
Harry.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Sheldon.
Aye.
Warsaw.
Aye.
Weathersfield. Arcade.
Aye.
Attica. Bennington.
Aye.
Castile.
Aye.
Covington.
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Gainesville.
Aye.
Genesee Falls.
Aye.
Jacob.
Aye.
And Middlebury.
Aye.
1,599 aye, none absent.
Resolutions number 25 through 33 have been carried. And Mr. Davis, I believe you have a proclamation.
Kristen Fisher and Gail Serventi. She is the chairwoman of the Ant Alliance. Is that, should I call it Ant Alliance or ANT?
Whichever.
Okay. Proclamation, Autism Awareness Month proclaimed. Whereas 1 in 44 children are on autism spectrum. Whereas autism individuals are created straightforward, authentic, non-judgmental, and passionate. And whereas autistic individuals are inventors, artists, actors, scientists, and business people. And whereas autistic individuals, like neurotypes, individuals need understanding, support, creativity, patience in order to mature and flourish. Whereas helping an autistic individual to thrive in a team effort encompassing family, service providers, schools, medical professionals, and caring communities. And whereas Wyoming County extends gratitude to dedicated individuals who make it possible for autistic individuals and their loved ones to enjoy the benefits of our county, commerce, and leisure activities. And whereas Wyoming County is particularly grateful to the people who envisioned, pursued, created the Autism Nature Trail, a place for families to enjoy the therapeutic opportunities presented by nature in Letchworth State Park. And whereas the Autism Nature Trail and the efforts of the providers, families, community members, Wyoming County celebrates neurodiversity. Now therefore, in resolve, the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim April 2022 to be Autism Awareness Month in Wyoming County, and it holds the county seal, signed by the chairwoman.
As many of you know, it has taken us 7 years, over 7 years, to bring our Autism Nature Trail to life. And starting May 7th, we will start our first full year of programming, which will go from the first weekend in May through the last weekend in October. We have worked with so many people. And what we're excited about is not only building awareness for autism, but acceptance,
appreciation for what is in this proclamation. That people think differently, that people walk differently, people see differently, touch differently. And we want to accept all of these and appreciate all of these. And we believe that our trail will empower families and individuals who are neurodiverse. And finally, our trail will be a place to advocate for all of these people. So thank you so much for this. This is quite an honor. Thank you. I would like to just add that I want to commend Gail, and she had another teammate too that has since passed. But I know the long struggle. I saw you there at the very beginning, and it was so well organized. I've never seen anything so organized as far as not-for-profit. And it's going to be successful for years, centuries to come because of that. And really to be commended. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Resolutions number 34 through 38 by Mr. Becker, Chairman of the Agricultural Committee.
Mr. Chairwoman, please have the first read resolutions 34 through 38. They've been approved by the Ag Committee. I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 34 by Mr. Becker, Chairman of the Agriculture Committee. Purpose the board directed to publish notice of 30-day review of agricultural district number 2. Resolution number 35. Chairman authorized to sign a contract with New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets on behalf of the Board of Supervisors. Resolution number 36. Resolution supporting and maintaining the 60-hour work week for farm workers. Resolution number 37, expressing frustration with the lack of local input in renewable energy siting and the conversion of farmland. Resolution number 38, resolution in support of new and expanded tax credits to support food production.
Questions or comments regarding resolution number 34 through 38?
Warsaw.
Aye.
Weathersfield.
Aye.
Arcade.
Aye.
Attica.
Aye.
Bennington.
Aye.
Castile.
Aye.
Covington.
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Gainesville.
Aye.
Genesee Falls.
Aye.
Jacob.
Aye.
Middlebury.
Aye.
Orangeville.
Aye.
Cary.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
And Sheldon.
Aye.
1,599 aye, none absent.
Resolutions number 34 through 38 have been carried. And Mr. Becker, I believe we have a couple of guests today.
Yes.
We'll do that.
Thanks for letting us take a few minutes of the meeting today. My name is Sarah Clark, and we're over at the parade office. And I'm happy to present all the young gentlemen here today to do their public presentations. Public presentations is a program that we hold in our Forest Department. It's one of our flagship programs where you can participate from 5 years old up to 19, doing a public speech, an illustrated talk, recitation, many different varieties of topics, and all the youth usually choose their own. I practice this and then perform in front of the judge. This year we had 111 youth participate in that program. We did have 3 move on to our district level this year. So without further ado, I'll have Ashton and Levi Wilcox, her brothers from Berrysburg, here today. And I'll start with Mr. Ashton.
I have spent the last 9 years looking out my truck windows at Tropical Electric Central School. Over these last few years, I have seen dairy cattle grazing in fields, bees pollinating out cotton, soybeans getting planted, corn harvested, potatoes picked, and maple trees getting tapped. With all these in common, agriculture. Did you know that Wyoming County is #1 in New York State in total agricultural production sales? According to the Wyoming County Chamber of Commerce, Wyoming County leads the state with a total of 700 farms producing about 326 million in total sales. Good morning, my name is Ashton Wilcox, and I am an 8th grader in the Metro Central Bay. I will be speaking to you about agriculture in Wyoming County. The dairy industry is the #1 industry in Wyoming County. In Wyoming County, there are roughly 44,000 people and roughly 53,000 dairy cattle. According to the Wyoming County IDA, Wyoming County produces roughly 1 billion pounds of milk a year. This is roughly 129 million gallons of milk. In Wyoming County, we have farms range from 40 cows, to farms that range to 3,000 cows. We have farms that are owned by multiple generation, as well as farms that are owned by a single generation. I do not live on a farm, but I've grown up around registered area shares for my whole life. The heifers that I own taught me about responsibility and how to work hard. Owning dairy may seem easy, but it is harder than it looks. Another area of agriculture I would like to talk about is agriculture or beekeeping, which is the maintenance of honeybees and hives. Bees are vital for the pollination of our crops, such as alfalfa and potatoes. There should be 3 to 6 honeybees per square yard of flowering alfalfa during the more active part of the day. This is to ensure maximum pollination of every bloom. That means an acre of alfalfa will need about 14,500 bees. Bees are one of the many insects that can produce something that's beneficial to all of us. Since ancient times, honey has been used to treat several diseases, and it is an antioxidant. Did you know that honey can last forever if kept in the right conditions? The honey will crystallize and will become cloudy over time. To return the honey to its original state, take the lid off of the jar, place it in warm water, and heat the honey until it returns to its original consistency. People find a way to use every part of the hive. One example is people use honey and honeycombs to produce a honeycomb brittle. Crop farming is another area in agriculture that I see in my daily community school. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, crop farming is a plant that is produced and harvested extensively for profit or sustenance. By use, crops fall into 6 categories: food crops for human consumption, feed crops for livestock consumption, fiber crops for board and textiles, oil crops for consumption and industrial uses, ornamental crops for landscape gardening, and secondary or industrial crops for various personal and industrial uses. According to the USDA, Wyoming County, we have 207,900 acres of land that sell over $1.4 billion annually in total sales. Within a 30-mile radius, you'll find 2,300 acres of potatoes, 6,000 acres of other vegetables, fruits such as beans, peas, berries, and apples. Last area I would like to talk about is maple syrup production. Did you know that there are roughly 287,000 maple taps in Wyoming County? Here in Wyoming County, we tap sugar maple trees, which have a higher sugar content than other maple species, thereby producing a better flavored syrup. Well, that will depend on a few things, such as the weather conditions, size, age, and health of the tree. Most trees today generally get 1 tap, but those with an 80-inch or greater circumference will get 2. On average, a tapped maple will produce 10 to 20 gallons of sap per tap. Of course, the weather conditions, size, age, and health of the tree also determine the number of tap. Well, the age, size, age, and health of the tree will determine how much sap is produced. There are also different ways of collecting the syrup, such as bags, buckets, and tubes. Bags and buckets are collected by hand, but animals can get into it and wreak havoc, ruining the sale. Tubes, however, are pumped to save time, but have to be regularly checked out on and cleansed to make sure if animals have chewed, broke, or broken the tube. That sap is collected and boiled, we end up with maple syrup. The general rule of thumb is that it takes 40 parts maple syrup to produce 1 part of maple syrup. This translates to 40 gallons of maple sap to produce one part of maple syrup. I feel very fortunate to live in an area that has so many different types of agriculture. It's an industry that is very diverse and allows for many variations. Although my drive to school may only be 20 minutes, it allows me to witness the extensive diversity of agriculture in my county. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have a question or a comment. Out in the hall, you mentioned how the different areas kind of interplay with each other. If you could state that again. Like the crop farms and
Most of these topics contribute with one another. And they all help each other, along with being helped by the other. Bees pollinate crops and trees, so this can feed animals and humans. But those bees also feed off of the crops that they pollinate. That's it.
Good answer.
Okay, so that's kind of a comment too, because my neighbor has beehives. And he mentioned to me that when you mentioned that bee honey lasts forever, he told me that they found honey in pyramids and brought it out and it was still good. So it's true, yeah.
In researching this, I did find an article about how they found honey pyramids.
Yep. Okay, so then please tell me the truth.
Good afternoon. My name is Levi Wilcox, and I'm 11 years old. I work on a small farm of registered dairy and sharp cattle that I like to show. Not only do I like to show cattle, but I like tractors, especially red tractors, because they are Its history began in 1842, not tractors, but steam engines. Jerome Case founded thrashing machine works to speed up the removal of grain after harvest. By 1869, Case was the largest manufacturer of steam engine tractors. This tractor was mounted by wheels and pulled by horses. The purpose of this tractor was only to be used to power other machines. 7 years later, in 1876, Case built its first propelled steam engine that quickly replacing the need for horses. In 1902, Case joined 5 other forces. Case joined forces with 5 other companies forming the International Harvester Company. International Harvester produced its first combine harvester in 1915. In 1923, Farmall was the world's first row crop tractor. Was introduced, more than 5 million Farmalls were sold. Cases changed a lot over the century, from pulling behind equipment to tractors like Farmall or even Case Steiger. which is farmers needed more horsepower in 1950. Case started selling these tractors commercially in 1963. Case IH was formed in 1985 when J.I. Case acquired the agricultural part of International Harvester, uniting Case and IH under a single name. Case IH's first product, the Magnum series, which are 160 horsepower and 240 horsepower. Tractors were introduced in 1987, now producing up to 380 horsepower. Magnum continues to be one of the most harvested, most recognizable Case IH products. More than 150,000 have been sold. My favorite case is the heavy-duty quad-track tractor with its articulated body and rubber tracks was built in 1996. The quad-track lineup now includes the most powerful series production tractor in the world. The Case Stagger Quad-Track 260, 220 that has 692 horsepower and is the biggest tractor produced by Case. Case IH has changed a lot over the last 150 years. It has started from a small company producing one product and has evolved to creating all types of products for agriculturists. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have a question. Do you know where these tractors are made?
I gotta say the first part of it. Well, we're raised in Wisconsin.
Okay, very good. In the US.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We have certificates for Ashton and for Levi. This is a certificate of recognition for the both of you for getting your speeches today and enlightening us on subjects dealing with agriculture. Thank you very much, boys.
That was awesome. That was very good. And it's. Shows that now we've got one here in person. And it's very wonderful. Yes.
I think it would be in our best interest to recognize these two young men's grandmother who used to serve as supervisor at the town of Orlando, Suzanne West. So
Speak to us. No. Thank you.
well,
Thank you.
Resolutions number 39 through 44 by Mr. Brewer, chairman of the plan.
Madam Chair, please have the clerk read resolutions 39 through 44. They have been approved by the planning committee and I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 39 by Mr. Brewer, chairman of the board. Amy Alphabet appointed to the Wyoming County Planning Board. Resolution number 40, travel and tourism proclaimed. Resolution number 41, Brianna Stone appointed to the Wyoming County Business Center, Local Development Corporation, Board of Directors. Resolution number 42, resolution applauding the proposed Connect All initiative and urging waiver of all right-of-way fees for publicly funded broadband projects. Resolution number 43, resolution requesting the New York State Legislature establish solar panel recycling regulations. And resolution number 44, resolution to support the climate action plan scoping document.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution number 39 through 44?
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Kinsville.
Aye.
Johnson Falls.
Aye.
Jago.
Aye.
Middlebury.
Aye.
Ortonville.
Aye.
Perry.
Aye.
Pike. Colvin. Warsaw. Weathersfield. Arcade. Attica. Bennington. And Castile.
Aye.
1,599 aye, none absent.
Resolution number 39 through 44 have been carried. And Mr. Lord, I will give you the
I do indeed. I would ask Eric Zook from the Wyoming County Chamber of Commerce to join me.
It's totally up to you. Let's see if I can get through this. Proclamation, Travel and Tourism Week proclaimed. Whereas National Travel and Tourism Week is May 1 through 7, 2022. It is an annual tradition that was established by congressional resolution in 1983 and first celebrated that following year. This nationwide week of events serves to champion the power of travel and tourism industry. And whereas travel and tourism is one of America's largest industries, generating $2.6 trillion in economic output, with $1.1 trillion spent directly by domestic and international travelers. And whereas, according to the U.S. Travel Association, tourism directly generated $180 billion in tax revenue for local, state, and federal governments. Travel and tourism is America's second largest industry export and is one of America's largest employers. Travel is among the top 10 industries and supporting 16 million jobs. Out of every 10 jobs in the U.S., 1 out of every 10 jobs in the U.S. depends on travel and tourism. Each U.S. household will pay $1,400 more in taxes without the tax revenue generated by the travel and tourism industry. And whereas tourism is critical to the economic health of Wyoming County, there are over 200 tourism-related businesses in Wyoming County. Travelers spend more than $41.4 billion annually in Wyoming County, which also generates $25 million in labor income. Wyoming County sees a return of $5.4 million in state and local sales tax. And the average savings per Wyoming County household for tourism-generated taxes is $340. And whereas from the natural beauty of Letchworth State Park to the historic landmarks, rural character and agriculture, family-friendly attractions, restaurants, and lodging, Wyoming County is a true four-season destination for outdoor adventure and family fun. And whereas to recognize Travel and Tourism Week from May 1 through 7, 2022, a week to celebrate and support the over 200 tourism-related attractions, businesses, and events that create jobs, boost the economy, bring visitors to Wyoming County. And whereas the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors wishes to recognize the importance of tourism as a critical industry in Wyoming County and urges all of our citizens to join us in this observance. Now, therefore, be it resolved that May 1 through 7, 2022 is hereby designated Travel and Tourism Week in Wyoming County in conjunction with Wyoming County Chamber of Tourism, the state of New York, and the United States will declare this an important week in celebration and recognition of travel and tourism. And it bears the seal of the Board of Supervisors and signed by the chairwoman. Eric, there you go.
say a few words and introduction.
Just like to say thank you so much for this opportunity to recognize all of our tourism businesses. I know, I apologize for my voice, a little bit, excuse me. Really through COVID, we've talked about that a lot, about how really recreation and tourism suffered. And this is just a magnificent opportunity to share their stories about how they persevered through the pandemic, and also about how critically important they are to our economic health and well-being. So I very much appreciate this, and we're very excited to celebrate Traveling Tourism Week in Wyoming County. So thank you so very much.
On that note, I have to say, I've started seeing people on the weekends coming through again from Niagara Falls. They're stopping here and then they're on their way to New Jersey or New York City.
Love it.
I know, it's great.
Excited.
Resolutions number 45 through 58 by Mr. Brick, Chairman of the Public Works Committee.
Madam Chair, will you please have the clerk read resolutions 45 through 58, have been approved by the Public Works Committee, and I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 45 by Mr. Brick, Chairman of the Public Works Committee. Resolution urging that awards of the Bridge New York program be finalized and announced in a timelier manner. Resolution number 46, resolution urging government and lawmakers to create a design build construction authority to counties in New York City. Resolution number 47, resolution urging the enactment of an increase in the statutory chip bidding threshold. Resolution number 48, resolution urging legislative support for Governor Kathy Hochul's executive budget initiative to promote the post-COVID recovery and transformation of New York airports. Resolution number 49, resolution urging the government and state legislators to enact record increases for local highway, bridge, and culvert programs to assist counties in maintaining their critical infrastructure. Resolution number 50, annual highway material bids approved. Resolution number 51, chairman authorized to sign a contract with Lobella Associates on behalf of County Highway. Resolution number 52, chairman authorized to sign a contract supplemental number 5 with Lobella Associates on behalf of County Highway. Resolution number 53, authorizing the implementation and funding of the costs of 100% of the costs of a transportation project, which may be eligible for federal aid and or state aid or reimbursement from Bridge New York funds. Resolution number 54, resolution number 21-486, amended. Resolution number 55, chairman authorized to award bid and sign a contract with Denor Chevrolet Incorporated on behalf of Buildings and Grounds, County Buildings. Resolution number 56, chairman authorized to sign various contracts on behalf of Buildings and Grounds, County Buildings. Resolution number 57, proper standardization resolution for all HVAC monitoring controls programs and equipment within Wyoming County buildings approved. And resolution number 58, Wyoming County Energy Performance Project with John W. Danforth, complete.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution 45? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Orangeville.
Aye.
Perry.
Aye.
Pike.
Aye.
Sheldon.
Aye.
Warsaw. Weathersfield. Arcade.
Aye.
Anna.
Aye.
Bennington. Castile.
Aye.
Covington.
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Gainesville.
Aye.
Genesee Falls.
Aye.
Java.
Aye.
And Middleburg.
Aye.
All following 599 aye, no absent.
Resolutions number 45 and 58 have been carried. Resolutions 59 through 74 by Mrs. May, Chairman of the Public Safety Committee.
Madam Chairwoman, could you please have the clerk read resolutions number 59 through 74? They've been approved by the Public Safety Committee, and I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 59 by Mrs. May, Chairman of the Public Safety Committee. Resolution requesting the following amendments to the bail reform, discovery reform, and raise the age statute should the state move to consider amendments. Resolution number 60, resolution calling on New York State to sufficiently invest in 911 funding to ensure proper maintenance of existing systems and prepare for next generation 911 technologies. Resolution number 61, resolution calling for state funding for new jail mandates. Resolution number 62, resolution encouraging the state legislature and governor to enact S 5331 and A 857 and S 8189 and A 9164. Resolution number 63, resolution calling for additional civil service reforms. Resolution number 64, resolution in support of efforts to improve probation and alternatives to incarceration in New York State in order to protect the public and reduce reliance on prisons, jails, and detention. Resolution number 65, resolution calling on the state of New York to fully reimburse counties for district attorney salary increases that are set and controlled by the state. Resolution number 66, chairman authorizes to sign a contract with the firm of Covington on behalf of the Sheriff's Department. Resolution number 67, chairman authorized to sign a grant application and acceptance award with the Governor's Safety Committee on behalf of the Sheriff's Department. Resolution number 68, chairman authorized to sign a contract with Genesee County Sheriff on behalf of the county jail. Resolution number 69, approving sole source procurement with Intrado on behalf of 911. Resolution number 70, national telecommunicator rate proclaimed. Resolution number 71, chairman authorized to sign a grant acceptance award with the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee on behalf of the Sheriff's Department. Resolution number 72, chairman authorized to sign a contract with Almond LLC on behalf of Wyoming County Probation. Resolution number 73, chairman authorized to sign a grant application and acceptance award with the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Office of Probation and Correctional Alternatives on behalf of Wyoming County Probation. And resolution number 74, sexual assault awareness month proclaimed.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolutions 59 through 74?
Huddersfield. Arcade. Attica. Bennington. Castile. Covington. Eagle. Kingsville. Genesee Falls. Jago. Middlebury. Orangeville. Cary. Pike. Sheldon. And Warsaw. 1,599 ayes, none absent.
Resolutions 59 through 74 have been carried. And Mrs. May, I believe you have two proclamations.
Proclamation, National Telecommunicator Month proclaimed. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and emergency medical services is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our first responders is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Wyoming County Sheriff's Office Communications Division. And whereas a public safety telecommunicator is the very first responder and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas the public safety telecommunicator is the single vital link for our first responders by monitoring their activities by emergency communications, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas the Public Safety Telecommunicator of the Wyoming County Sheriff's Office Communications Division has contributed substantially to the apprehensions of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors declares the week of April 10th through 16th, 2022 to be National Telecommunicator Week in Wyoming County in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our county and community safe. Signed by Rebecca J. Ryan, Chairwoman of the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors. Safety boards for 15 years, I did do that job. And it takes a special kind of person to perform that job. You're responsible for a lot of things. We've got 2 police officers, 2 the fire departments, and it takes a multitasker to do that job. So congratulations. Thank you.
Supervisor May, award for this proclamation. We have 8 full-time dispatchers, 8 part-time dispatchers. They not only dispatch for the sheriff's office, but for the state police, for village PDs, the DC police, Arch police, the 18 fire departments, the Monroe ambulance. To say the least, that they're busy, and as the supervisor said, it takes a very special person, and I've said it more than once in public safety committee. It's probably my most difficult position to fill, because I get 1 of 2 people. I get somebody that's young, maybe just fresh out of high school or college, and they can run the technology, the 5 monitors and the 3 computers, but can't talk to anybody very well. And or I get somebody that's a little more experienced in life that can talk all day long, but is really intimidated by the technology. So to have that knowledge in the society that we're in now is proven to be very, very difficult. So the people that we have there are very, very special. And as today went, there was a significant barn fire today that they were busy with, and then right after that, I was in dispatch and witnessed one of them just get completely raked over the poles unnecessarily by a resident that was unhappy with something they really had nothing to do with our office. So it is a difficult job, and it is National Telecommunicators Week, but I can assure you it means more when they see this coming through. So thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the second proclamation, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in this community. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment harm our community, and statistics show 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men will be raped at some point in their lives. And whereas child sexual abuse prevention must be a priority to confront the reality that 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls will experience a sexual assault before age 18. And whereas young people experience heightened rates of sexual violence in youth, ages 12 through 17, where 2.5 times are as likely to be victims of rape or sexual assault. And whereas on campus, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men are sexually assaulted during their time in college. And whereas we must work together to educate our community about sexual violence prevention, supporting survivors, and speaking out against harmful attitudes and actions. And whereas prevention is possible when everyone gets involved. The first step is increasing education awareness and community involvement. It's time for all of us to take action to create a safer environment for all. And whereas the Wyoming County Board of Supervisors joins advocates and communities across the country in taking action to prevent sexual violence. April of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and each day of the year is an opportunity to create change for the future. Now therefore be resolved that the Lyman Board of Supervisors does hereby proclaim April 2022 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It is signed and sealed by J. Ryan, Chairman, and Ron Board of Supervisors. And I'm going to need the district attorney manager to accept the proclamation. Thank you.
Resolution number 75 through 103, by Mr. Kale, Chairman of the Finance Committee.
Chairwoman, please have the clerk read resolution 75 to 103, approved by the finance committee. I move for their adoption.
Resolution number 75 by Mr. Hale, Chairman of the Finance Committee. Chairman authorized to sign a contract with PSNI Incorporated on behalf of Information Technology. Resolution number 76, salary schedule CPG and S amendment. Resolution number 77, resolution number 16-432 amendment. Resolution number 78, positions approved. Resolution number 79, correction of errors in the town of Orangeville approved. Resolution number 80, Wyoming County Real Property Tax Services Land Subdivision Map Review Fee Schedule adopted. Resolution number 81, resolution appointing the governor and legislature for supporting community colleges and urging them to develop an equitable county chargeback formula. Resolution number 82, resolution calling on the state and New York to immediately make all municipalities whole and St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Gaming Region that have been impacted by the state's lack of safety. Resolution number 83, resolution calling on the state of New York to immediately make all municipalities whole that have been impacted by the state assassination. Resolution number 84, resolution calling on the state to equitably distribute gaming revenue to all New York counties and to make whole counties impacted by the state gaming revenue changes. Resolution number 85, resolution supporting the executive budget recommendation to end the diversion of county sales tax for aid-related payments and to return this responsibility to the state. Resolution number 86, resolution supporting the governor's state fiscal year 2023 budget proposal to permanently extend all existing local sales tax rates and to allow all counties to set their local rate up to 4% under local law. Resolution number 87, resolution supporting the governor's state fiscal year 2023 budget proposal to modernize tax laws to include the vacation rental industry and to ensure these changes are appropriately tailored for the needs of localities. Resolution number 88, resolution calling on the governor and the legislature to suspend any further state diversion of local sales tax for distressed health facilities and sunset the law. Resolution number 89, resolution urging the governor and legislature to fully fund the costs of Bachelor Institute of Technology chargebacks for students working toward bachelor's and master's degrees. Resolution number 90, salary schedule S, B, and C handbooks amendments approved. Resolution number 91, resolution number 21-509 amended. Resolution number 92, resolution number 21-365 amended. Resolution number 93, resolution number 21-088 amended. Resolution number 94, resolution number 21-201 amended. Resolution number 95, resolution number 18-576 amended. Resolution number 96, resolution number 19-278 amended. Resolution number 97, hospital administrator or appointed designee authorized to sign various contracts on behalf of Wyoming County Community Health System. Resolution number 98, resolution number 20-208 amended. Resolution number 99, resolution number 19-083 amended. Resolution number 100, hospital administrator authorized or appointed designee to sign an employment agreement, salary schedule P, with Valerie K. Alton, DO, on behalf of the Wyoming County Community Health System. Resolution number 101, resolution number 16-319 pertaining to St. Lawrence Radiology Associates PC amended. Resolution number 102, salary schedule X handbook and salary schedule abolished. And resolution number 103, Janice Shirley appointed to the Wyoming County Community Hospital Board of Managers.
Any questions or comments regarding resolution 75-101?
Just one question. My understanding, the deputy county treasurer is getting similar with the same salary that the treasurer, outgoing treasurer received. She spent years and years at that position. And the deputy treasurer, someone somewhat new, is starting at the same salary. Am I correct or incorrect?
That's the way the resolution reads.
She's somebody quite new, am I correct? I watched it past years because back a few years ago, or a year or two ago, one individual did not get a promised increase, which was promised, as I recall. But yet we're giving someone, and nothing against this individual, but I'm looking at strictly salary. Someone who just started a position, it hasn't been here that long, they're collecting the same salary as someone who's been here for years. Just a question, if someone got a logical answer, I'd like to hear it. Then amen.
I've answered that.
Yes.
It's an elected position. I mean, we're appointing her this year, but it's an elected position. And to lower an elected official's salary would require a referendum. It's the law.
Would that have been a problem? Lowering the salary? Then after so long, then pick it back up again as time goes. I just asking you a question or something.
We'd have to go through the process of a local law. We'd have to change the local law.
And have it in the,
Have a vote.
a vote on the.
Well, can I interject? It can be changed at the beginning of the term. It cannot be changed mid-term. That's when you would run into the mandatory referendum.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, may I have a clerk please call the roll?
Pike.
Aye.
Sheldon.
Aye.
Warsaw.
Aye.
Weathersfield.
Aye.
Arcade.
Aye.
Attica.
Aye.
Bennington.
Aye.
Castile.
Aye.
Covington.
Aye.
Eagle.
Aye.
Gainesville.
Aye.
Genesee Falls.
Aye.
Jacob.
Aye.
Middlebury.
Aye.
Orangeville.
Aye.
And Perry.
Aye.
1,599 aye, none absent.
Resolutions number 75-103 have been carried. Senate resolution number 104, by Mr. Kale, Chairman of the Finance Committee.
And Chairman, please have a quick read of resolution number 104, approved by the Finance Committee. I move for its adoption.
Non-consent resolution number 104 by Mr. Kale, Chairman of the Finance Committee, authorizing a complete and independent review of the entire Wyoming County Community Health System operation to ensure future stability of the healthcare system.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution number 104?
Yes, Chair. If I may, Dan? I'll go first. Age before beauty. Okay. This resolution, as well as another resolution that unfortunately did not pass through the Finance Committee, was an outcome of our special meeting that was held on the 23rd. A rather contentious and divisive meeting. I'm sure that everyone recognizes. And, and I certainly want to give credit to the clerk of the board for her transcription of the minutes for that meeting, which was a tremendous effort. I stand here in support of resolution number 104. And that I believe that an independent review of the operation would be useful. There are firms that we can engage that can accomplish that for us in an independent evaluation. And so I think that would be helpful. The other resolution that went to finance, of course, was a resolution to reinstate Dr. Mason or ask the Board of Managers to issue him a new contract, not reinstate, issue a new contract. That resolution was defeated in finance by a vote, I believe, of 7-4, correct? Cheryl? 6-4. So voting in favor of that was Supervisor Brick, Supervisor May, myself, and Supervisor Roach. Other members of the Finance Committee voted no. That's why it doesn't show up in this session as a resolution, because it was defeated in the Finance Committee meeting. I just want to say one last thing too, because we will ultimately be voting on a new contract and an approval to appoint a new CEO. And I'm optimistic and hopeful that that individual can come in and take a good hard look at the culture in the hospital and help us to move forward, and that we would be successful in getting that operation running. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm going to vote no on this, and the reason why is because there's no monetary value to it. It could cost anywhere from $20,000 or $30,000 to $300,000. I don't know. I would support going out to an RFP and then having it go through the Finance Committee, but to do it as it's written, I'm going to vote no.
Madam Chairman, the original motion, which is in public minutes, public agenda, establish and appoint a special committee of the Board of Supervisors to conduct an investigation into the conduct of the actions of the Board of Managers of Wyoming County Community Hospital and the recent operations and activities of WCCH. Number 2, authorized $25,000 for that. How it morphed into this is amazing. This sounds very, very good. It's hard to say no to this because it sounds good, but it isn't what it started out as. As far as hiring the independent counsel in order to look at the health system, Resolution 105, authorizing the hiring of a person that has done this sort of thing before, turned medical facilities around, that is new to the area, new to our system, I think is about the same thing as what's being said here in 104. We certainly would accept our new CEO to go out and appropriate this if he needs that additional support. As far as the to ensure the future and stability of the healthcare system, absolutely, absolutely. And again, it sounds all good and everything, but there's not enough substance to it.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
J-Bo.
No.
Middlebury.
Aye.
Orangeville.
Aye.
Perry.
Aye.
Pike.
No.
Sheldon,
No.
Warsaw,
No.
Weathersfield,
No.
Arcade,
Aye.
Attica,
No.
Bennington,
No.
Castile,
Aye.
Covington,
No.
Eagle,
Aye.
Gainesville,
Aye.
and Genesee Falls.
Aye.
765 aye, 834 no.
And this is resolution number 104. Resolutions number 105 through 107 by Mr. Taylor, Chairman of the Finance.
Madam Chairman, please have the clerk read resolutions 105 through 107. They have been approved by the finance committee and I move to adopt.
Resolution number 105 by Mr. Carroll, Chairman of Finance. David A. Cobus, appointed hospital administrator to Wyoming County Community Health System. Resolution number 106, hospital administrator or appointed designee authorized to sign a contract with David A. Cobus on behalf of the Wyoming County Community Health System. Resolution number 107, salary schedule C amendment.
Are there any questions or comments regarding resolutions number 105 through 107? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Jaber,
Aye.
Middlebury,
Aye.
Orangeville,
Aye.
Perry,
Aye.
Clayton, Sheldon,
Aye.
Warsaw, Weathersfield,
Aye.
Arcade,
Aye.
Attica,
Aye.
Bennington, Castile,
Aye.
Covington,
Aye.
Eagle,
Aye.
Gainesville,
Aye.
and Genesee Falls.
Aye.
1,599 ayes, noes, absent.
Resolution number 105 through 107. And note that there's a wire to the
I just have a comment or a question. Personally, unless I missed the rule, I've asked 2 CFOs to resign, and I never, ever got a clear-cut answer on why they resigned. The last one was under a very lucrative salary, and I'm understanding he resigned. And I never got a clear-cut answer, again, repeating myself, why these 2 CFOs resigned.
They've all been answered before, and we still have to set that goal.
I was told last CFO was under contract, but he's resigning this spring.
He's there until June. And we're currently in the process of recruiting a new CFO with the assistance of the new CEO as well.
So the second CFO resigned, is leaving.
It's a contracted agency that we have as a CFO right now, who is leaving as of June. And we are currently recruiting a permanent CFO. The one that's there now was temporary to begin with. And it's going to be with the assistance of.
I just questioned, he's under quite a lucrative contract, to my understanding, and he's leaving. Not too many people leave making that kind of.
It was a temporary thing to begin with. It was until we recruited, until we got a permanent CFO.
Good enough.
Ms. Berwin. Madam Chairman, I do want to say that I wish everyone a happy Easter, and I would ask that you please all Ukraine in your prayers, especially as we celebrate this season.